it's something that I think just jars them and just sort of makes them, you know, really get into the music, you know, something new and exciting, you know.
Leroy Moore has been playing the saxophone since junior high school. His influences include jazz legends Charlie Parker, John Coltrane, and Ben Webster. Like the others, he's at a loss to explain how the Dave Matthews sound came together.
Yeah, it was just different. But I had a feeling of, I sort of knew though that it was really happening.
That it was special,
yeah.
That it could go somewhere.
Absolutely. But I had no idea what that really meant, but I knew that there was something there. I mean, just, it's like, wow.
There was never even a moment's discussion about what kind of music we want to play, how we're going to fit all the instruments together. All we had to do was play together, and the sound started to develop very early on. And I think there must have been, the first time that we got together and started to play, there must have been a magic in there that, even if we were all a little bit shocked by what was going on, by how horrible it was, I think we must have all said, wow, there is something in here, in how our personalities mix, in how our music mixes.
Because the band's trademark would become long, airy, intricate solos, a reminder of the Grateful Dead, the band knew that word of mouth from live performances, not studio recordings, would be the key to success. They would play anywhere, anytime, even for free. And they would encourage fans to tape their shows, copy them, and send them to friends who would do the same for still other friends. They released their first album, Remember Two Things, on their own label. It sold more than 150,000 copies, mostly out of the trunk of a car. Manager Corin Capshaw laid out the plan.
I'd seen bands come into my club before that had record contracts and they were getting paid $100 and they were, on tour support, and nobody's there. They're opening band, nobody's paying attention to them, and a record company's trying to get something going. And I said, "Nuh-uh, that system doesn't work." So I said, I want to get this band in front of people. The more people that see this band, the more people they're going to come to see, and that's going to be exponential.
When he saw us, it's like, wow, this band live is great. They need to be playing more. We at that stage were like, we'll play as much as we need to play. Anywhere, we'll do anything.
We'll go to fraternity house if you want us there, we'll be there.
And we'll play 8 days a week, and that's it. And all we wanted to do was convince as many people as we could that we were playing something that was important.
Being who you are. This would be, if you made all the same amount of money, sold more record albums, it wouldn't be half as much fun if you didn't tour.
Yeah, I don't think we could manufacture, and I don't think any of it could be here if it wasn't for touring. I don't think the way we play together, I don't think the sound we have, I don't think any of it could have been developed if it wasn't for the fact that we tour. It couldn't exist as this band. Because we have to be changing all the time. We have to be playing all the time.
It's your laboratory.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
It is your laboratory.
Yeah.
Even a sound check is a laboratory for you.
Mm-hmm. The birth of this band, even the first 3 years we were together, the band didn't even exist outside of touring. We hadn't had an album. We hadn't been approached by record companies. It was entirely about performing and being on the road, because that was really the only space that had accepted us.
Test 1, 2, test 1.
Today, there is no space too big to accept the Dave Matthews Band,
And testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
including the 20,000-seat Shoreline Amphitheater in San Francisco. Each event is a mini Woodstock with tens of thousands of fans gathering in mid-afternoon for a nighttime show. On this tour, the band has been joined by longtime friend and pianist Butch Taylor.
I mean, can you imagine any place you'd rather be than right here?
A home in bed with my kids. Oh God! Oh, yeah, this is my first long tour, so it's tougher for me.
It's tougher.
Yeah, and I also didn't ride around in the station wagon, and you know, for those first 5 or 6 years, or 7 or 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So we rode around in plenty of vans and did all that.
Oh yeah. Can you tell an audience from the moment you walk out there? I mean, can you tell me if I would stop everything after 5 minutes and say, okay, what kind of audience is this? Could you tell me? Or you got to get into it for another hour before you...
Yeah, most times you can tell when you walk out there and they give you the roar that just,
the roar.
You know, and sometimes Dave will run out on stage if he's feeling extra good that night, that particular night. He'll run out and do this thing that I love. He'll jump up, you know, do this super, you know, like a Michael Jordan try, you know, kind of lead, and it just picks the crowd up. You know, they just get pumped up right from the beginning, and that's when it just gets everybody flowing. You know, gets everybody ready to just try to kill them. You know?
What will you guys do between now and when you walk out on stage at 8 o'clock? It's now 5:42. You got 2 hours, 15 minutes. You got to do what?
Pace.
Yeah, you're not worried.
No, it's just energy.
This is anticipation.
No, it's just energy. I'm ready to go play now.
And you feel it every night? This sense of, my God, I'm going to go out there and turn them on. Yeah.
If you don't feel it by the time the gig starts, you'll feel it by midway through the set. And that's never failed. I remember a time I was sick as a dog. I had the flu. This was years and years, 7 years ago or so. We were playing at Van Riper's. And I was sick as a dog, and I did not want to play. That was probably the only day of my life that I did not want to play. And went on stage. By midway of the set, I had a fever, and by midway through that set, I was into everything that was going on stage and had forgotten all about being sick. So, yeah, it never fails.
Therapy.
It never fails, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I've never been to the Dave Matthews Band concert. This is my first one, so I'm pumped.
All right.
What's the idea behind an entrance when you got 20+ thousand people have been waiting just to hear you perform?
I think the same with our exits. We try and do them as just I think do it as quietly as possible. Make our entrances humble as possible.
Now, is that part of what is a principle of yours, or a sense of self?
It's always nice to come back here.
Or is it for some other reason?
Everything we want to do is sort of wrapped around the music, and so the more we can underplay the fame or fortune that has landed upon us, the better it is. As much as possible, express our humility in the face of all this, because it's pretty awesome for us to have been welcomed by such a big audience.